I needed a flashlight and I bought this. It's from Anker, which is a Chinese-American brand that does a lot of consumer electronics. Got a good reputation for phone chargers, for example. Anyway, this will just be a quick look at this. It's a Bolder LC90 model, which I decided on. It's a fairly typical LED flashlight with a single lithium-ion 18650 cell inside it, and it generates a very usable 900 lumens of light output. Now, the reason I ended up with this thing is basically to do with its value. Most of the quality options around the 1000 lumens point tend to be priced in the $50 or higher region. And while you can go on eBay, for example, and find really cheap Chinese knockoff brands that can be good, it's just a little riskier as to what sort of quality you'll end up with. So this thing is currently about $25. And as you can see, Amazon.com does very sensible international freight, even if you're not in the US. So we have good power, a name brand of sorts, and a good price point. And so far, I've been very pleased with this purchase. It has a zoomable head, which I like in general. This one's quite good. It's very stiff, and which means that it'll stay where it's positioned. The wide angle is the usual position you'd leave it in, but you can focus it in when wanted. And I will say it doesn't go down to a very narrow angle. It's not very good for trying to target something small in the distance, but it does allow you to adjust it for different uses in general. And the light color is about 6000 Kelvin. I actually measured that. And if you look at this photo, you can see that it varies across the beam pattern. It's actually about 7000 or even 7500 Kelvin, truly blue tinted in the center here, but it drops down to an average of about 6000 K out in the main area. So this color difference is the natural result of using a lens to focus the beam. You get refractive splitting of the white light from the LED. Now, I'd prefer the color to be closer to sunlight and a pure white of about 5000 or 5500 Kelvin, but this could be worse. Now, its power switch is on the back, which is a little harder to action one-handed, but it is less likely to be accidentally knocked like that. And it has two switch modes, a temp on, where you just hold it down halfway, and the normal on-off, where you push it all the way in. And then for each mode, by doing the action in question twice quickly in succession, so from that to that, you can cycle through the LED modes from high to medium to low to the usual silly flash modes that these lights always have. Now, it does not come with a charger, but for the price, I think that's acceptable because it just wants a standard USB power input and it'll charge the battery internally. So assuming that you already have a dozen USB phone chargers like me, that won't be a problem. So on the topic of the battery, you get this 18650 cell that comes pre-installed. You access it by taking off the back end, and then this additional cap like this, and then the cell is branded Anker. It's listed as a 3350 milliamp hour cell, which, assuming authenticity, which I have no reason to doubt, is really good. Okay, so to charge it, you just leave off the first end cap and you plug a USB micro cable, same as what you'd use on most phones, or at least older phones, to a charging source, and you'll get this red status LED, which will go green once charged. So that's about all I have to say about it. Obviously there's a million LED flashlights out there, but this stood out to me as a particularly good value option from a reputable brand. It's a good performer, it's well designed, comes with a good battery, and it's small, portable, and practical. So, recommended. Okay, hope that was helpful.